This 1968 Mattel has created one of the most popular toy car in the world. With over 60 years worth of the world's coolest car company, and over 60 years worth of play set a toy line. From the popular and successful color shifters, and iconic and beloved mainline. From the infamous Hot Wheel Premium and RLC, and the obscure and forgotten XV Racers Attack Pack and Atomics. Welcome to Hot Wheel Casting History by Ray Z. Fool. So 2 weeks ago I make a poll about what video you want me to make next. A total of 11 people voted on that poll. And in the end, 27% of you voted on 1 facts about all Hot Wheels race-off cars, and 73% of you voted on history of Duck and Roll. And for those of you that voted for that video that got 27%, I'm still going to make that video in a future. Well, hello there, welcome back to another video. I'm your host Ray Z Fool. And welcome to another episode of Hot Wheel Casting History. If you don't know, this is a series where we talk about all the release and variant of one particular Hot Wheel car and rank them in the tier list. By the way, this series is not limited to fantasy casting, because I also going to make a video on real casting in the future. But before we start this video, I want to make a couple of correction about the previous video. One of my lovely viewer point out one error in my previous. Hey, guess who's back? It's me, Duck and Roll. Of course I'm going to be in this video. This video is all about me. I'm a perfect candidate for this video, and Ray is probably in a hospital because, believe it or not, real life flashbang is not like how it depicted in the video game. Now what the hell am I supposed to say again? Oh right, error in my previous video. One of my lovely viewer Rubmal point out an error in my previous video. Hello, I'd like to point out an error in the minute 7:52. The brands featured there are real, and from top to bottom they seem to be one. I'm sorry I can't see and distinguish it. 2. Pirelli tire manufacturer. 3. Simpson various car parts manufacturer. Great vid nonetheless. Here another error I found in my previous video. This is a anime series seared tuner. On the left, specifically and on the rear front wheel, you can see a green Hot Wheel logo that looks suspiciously similar to the modern Hot Wheel logo despite releasing in 2003. Above it you can also see a kanji character meaning fast in Japanese. But on the right on the same area, you can see a number 2 instead. This is kind of stupid because I also show this in a video but never point that out. Anyway, now we can talk about Duck and Roll. Duck and Roll, release in 2020. Designed by Ryu Asada, same designer that designed LB Super Silhouette Nissan Silvia S15 Custom 01 Acura Integra GSR and Buns of Steel, is a Hot Wheel hot rod done in a style of a rubber duck, basically a rubber ducky on wheel. This is the unironically one of my favorite modern fantasy casting of all time. Why? Simple, I just love a goofy and silly Hot Wheels casting both intentionally and unintentionally. Plus, this casting was base of one of my favorite animal of all time, duck, because everyone knows duck is the ultimate animal. They can swim, they can fly, they can even walk. One cool little detail I always appreciate about this casting are, the engine have a little propeller, meaning that in universe this car can probably float on water, similar to the propeller from Choro QHG4. I hope that's not too obscure of a reference. Also, somewhere in late 2020 the base of this casting was changed a little bit. I'm gonna let Ray explain this to you.
Hi there, this is Ray, currently in the hospital. I am recording this in this thingamajig. I don't know what I don't know what the hell I'm saying because I can't hear anything. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, so apparently this kid. In my my roommate happened to have both of this Duck and Roll, so I borrowed them. I don't know what the hell he's saying because I can't hear anything. Anyway, there's a casting change for this car. Hold on. There. Hope you can see it. I can see it well, but as you can see, there's like this little thing right here. See it? I can't see it because this camera sucks. And see this? That's so different right there. This is the first edition, or should I say the first release, and this is the what is it, the later release of this car. So yeah, that's it guys.
I forgot to put this in the script and now I have no idea where I'm going to put this. Anyway, sometime I forgot that if you look at the back of the packaging of a Hot Wheels car, you can see a little description for the casting. When conditions get bad, this odd-looking hot rod leaves all the other competitors standing flat-footed because it never loses its traction. This is the first time I covering a modern fantasy casting that is still in production, so if we ever got a new release for this casting, I will make a short video talking about that new casting, basically a little expansion for that video. Anyway, this is a 2020th Street Beasts Duck and Roll. This casting is using a yellow body, orange beacon engine, blue base with red chrome 5 SP wheel. Now the casting have a blue eye with eyelashes. I always thought this particular release of Duck and Roll look a little girly due to the eyelashes. Anyway, before we rank this release, I have a couple of interesting facts about this particular release. In 2025, this casting was re-released in the Hot Wheels Let's Race 10-pack. Re-release of already existing release are very rare, considered that most re-release are just repackaged mainline like the other car in the pack. But the other car in the 10-pack, those are a casting based off a variant that was released 5+ years ago, now been reproduced for this 10-pack. Or maybe Mattel just have too much stock for those casting. Instead of throwing it away in a landfill right next to the thousands of unsold Funko Pop, they decided to repackage the unsold casting in this 10-pack because those car did appear in the show and this is their chance to get rid of they unsold stock. Except for Duck and Roll, those got to be reproduced for this 10-pack. Why? Because Duck and Roll is a hot sale judging by the resale price for this casting. Seriously, this resale price is insane. This is something that only a 50-year-old jalopies can achieve. I remember buying this casting for price of a McDonald's Spicy Chicken McDeluxe. Now I can buy 20 of those with this resale price. Also, talking about Hot Wheel Let's Race, Duck and Roll appeared in one of the episodes in this show. I never watched this show, but judging by the image, this Duck and Roll is based of the 2020th Street Beasts with couple of changes, but we will talk about that later. That was a long one. What the hell are we supposed to talk about again? Oh right, my final thought. Sometime less is more, and this is perfection right here. This release is so simple but so good at the same time, S tier. Another notable thing about this particular release are, this version of the car are playable in Hot Wheel Unleashed 1 and 2. Apparently this is a secret car you unlock in one of the random event. I forgot where I heard this, but apparently the developer put this car in a game because people make funny livery with this car. I was thinking of buying Hot Wheel Unleashed 1 with my birthday money, and make Drake from Animal Crossing Duck and Roll, but I decided to spend all my money on GTA episodes from Liberty City instead. I hope that's a better investment.
Wow, that aged poorly. Really poorly. The game crashed, by the way. At least I can play the other DLC, The Battle of Gay Tony.
Anyway, next release. This is a 2020th Street Beasts Duck and Roll. This is the most interesting release of this casting. For starter, this casting is supposed to be a color variant of the previous one, even have a same number 2 out of 10, but it feature different tempo. Apparently duck and roll is so simple and easy to make that they can make the color variant with a different tempo. Anyway, this release is using a lime green body with orange beacon engine, blue metal base and red magenta 5 SP wheel with yellow rim. Now the tempo, this casting has a eyebrows, blue iris with a star for the pupil, and now for my final thought. This has got to be the cutest Hot Wheel car ever. I love the eye and the color, and that's saying something, because usually I don't like green Hot Wheels car that much. This and the first release look like a perfect pair. Nothing else to say, except for, S tier. This is a 2021 HW Glow Racer Duck and Roll. This car is number 5 out of 5 in the series. This release is using a white glow-in-the-dark body with yellow beacon engine, yellow metal base and glow-in-the-dark white 5 SP wheel with pink rim. And now the tempo, this casting has a pink and purple goggle with little Hot Wheel logo on the wing. One notable tidbit about this particular release are, this casting play a major role in this promotional video for this series, with the car being featured in the YouTube thumbnail. And now for my final thought. This is one of those casting that looks so much better in a packaging than in person. In a packaging the goggle is close to each other unlike the real one is far away. It looked good in some angle but on a front angle not so much. No wonder most of the picture of this car in the web is taking in a side angle. Plus this is what the car looked like in the glow-in-the-dark form. The goggle looked like a black eye and somehow this looked better. In the end this is probably the weakest release for this casting, C tier, but and again duck and roll is like Skittle, even the worst flavor doesn't taste that bad, and pizza, even the worst pizza doesn't taste that bad. Hot take pineapple on pizza is mid. If you have any problem with that, fight me. This is a 2022 Street Beasts Treasure Hunt Duck and Roll. This car is number 5 out of 5 in the series. It feature a anodized chrome gold body with orange beacon engine, green metal base and green 5 SP wheel with white rim, and now for the tempo. One awesome little detail about this release are the treasure hunt logo is located in the pupil. When I first saw this I was impressed because of how insanely creative it is. This casting has a blue iris with a treasure hunt logo for the pupil. In the wing you can see a black Hot Wheel logo. Underneath the Hot Wheel logo you can see a Ryu Rides logo. This logo was created to honor his legacy. Ryu Asada passed away in 2022 due to cancer. This along with the tempo can also be seen on his other model that was released in 2022, and according to the wiki, mini collection which spans several other mainline segments consisting of castings designed by the late Ryu Asada. Each casting in this series features Ryu's Ryu logo somewhere in the tempo design or some derivative of his name, such as the word Asada. Note that not every casting of Ryu's design appears in this mini collection, nor is every casting released in 2022 with any of the identifying marks included in this series. And for my final thought.
Ah yes, here's one of my favorites, look at him. He's very, very stupid. He has like 2 brain cells.
Joking aside, this right here are the peak of Hot Wheel design. It's so simple but so good at the same time. Again, less is better. S tier. This is a Hot Wheel Let's Race Duck and Roll. This car is number 5 out of 5 in the series. This release is using a glow-in-the-dark white body, pink beacon engine, and glow-in-the-dark 5 SP wheel with yellow rim. Now for the tempo. On the wing you can see a pink text read, glow in the duck. Nice pun, I see what you did there. Anyway, in the other side you can see a pink Hot Wheel logo. Now let's move to the front. In the front you can see a sunglasses with blue, yellow and pink light shine. You can also see a little text in the left sun visor red, GTTD, or is it GTTO? I don't know, it's too small. Before I talk about my final thought, here are a couple of facts about this release. I never watch HW Let's Race, but judging by the screenshot and video clip, in universe, the car headlight was placed right next to the wheel, and the car also make a squeaking noise every time it moved. Hey, remember earlier when I say, but judging by the image this duck and roll is based of the 2020th Street Beasts with couple of changes, but we will talk about that later. Yeah, the only changes I can spot are, the already mentioned headlight, the wheel is red instead of chrome, but that probably have something to do with the lighting, and the car is glow in the dark, and again in the show the car was modified to be glow in the dark. By the way, the reason why the script is so wonky is because I am currently writing this at 6 AM, and believe it or not my grammar is better when I'm not overdosing on caffeine. By the way, due to how little I know about this show I'm not gonna tell you what episode this is from. Anyway, now for my final thought. You must be able to self-reflect. For starters, you can start writing a diary. Everything you do leaves a mark. The way you write, sneak, move, look, etc. Pay attention to each of these, try to closely analyze them and draw conclusions, use them knowledge to work on yourself. Remember, everything is in your head and it all depends on you. During the next Christmas, try to watch at least one Audrey Hepburn movie. Oh crap, wrong script, that's my poetry, here my actual script. Apparently they learned their lesson from a previous glow in the dark release by making the two tempo much closer to each other. All of my complaint from a previous release are fixed here. B for better than the last one.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
This is a HW Super Rig Scrub-A-Dub Driver Duck and Roll. This is the first multi-packed exclusive for this casting. One notable facts about this release are, there is two versions of this release, the 2024 version and the 2025 version. The only changes from these two versions are, the 2024 version have a 2024 in a packaging, unlike the 2025 version that remove it because it's no longer a new release. Anyway, this casting is using a yellow body, orange beacon engine, Zamac metal base and clear blue wheels with chrome rim. Now the tempo. This release is using a 30s cartoon eyes, and right next to it are AAAHHHH Hot Wheels logo. And now for my final thought. When I first saw this release I didn't really like the eye, it looks like he's seen some stuff. I guess the other duck decided to troll this one by letting him playing that game that everyone loved playing back in the early 2000s.
This maze is so hard. They get so narrow at the bottom.
Joking aside, the expression kind of makes sense. Consider that what truck this release came in. If I was him I probably do the same face. But the more I look at it, the more I like it. I love the 1930s classic cartoon eye and the clear blue wheels with the Zamac base. The Zamac base is probably the coolest part about this release. S tier, both the truck and the duck. Now that I think about it, I think Scrub-A-Dub is a much better name than Duck and Roll.
But wait! There's more!
This is a Hot Wheel monster truck Duck and Roll. God, I hate that name. If I can change anything from the monster truck line, it will be the name. Urban Assault will be much better name for it. If you can change anything from the monster truck line, what would you change? Tell me in a comment, give me more engagement so that I can get paid for my hard work. Anyway, this is the monster truck version of a Duck and Roll, designed by Brendan Betusky, same designer that designed the RLC exclusive 64 Impala, RLC exclusive 1997 Toyota Supra, and Gotta Go. Anytime I mention the designer, I always try to include the most popular and unpopular or just ridiculous casting made by the same designer. I should have did that in the first episode. 2 episodes in and the first episodes is already outdated. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, HW Monster Truck is a toy line that's supposed to be a replacement to the HW Monster Jam line. Apparently somewhere in 2017 or 2018 Mattel lost the Monster Jam license, and currently Spin Master have the Monster Jam license, and now the one that making a Monster Jam diecast. Also, I did own both HW Monster Jam and HW Monster Truck, and there is one small when you see it you can unsee it change. I'm going to let my colleague Ray, now in his studio safe and probably steal death, explain this to you.
Oh, bitch. Well, hello there. This is Ray in the studio, probably still deaf. Today I'm gonna compare. Today I'm gonna compare all the differences between Hot Wheels Monster Jam and Hot Wheels Monster Truck. Now, the reason why I have all of this truck is because I want to show you my entire collection. That's it. Let's pick one. You are the worst condition. I'm gonna take you apart. This is like the biggest bag I can find for this thing. Every time I take this thing out of the bag, this thing broke. Fuck it. This one has a couple of chrome laws. You can't see it good. This one is a little easier. Fuck it. Is that really necessary? You can just skip it, you know. Now if you can, I can't see, but you can probably see. So apparently there's two chassis over here. So apparently these both chassis are actually the same chassis. There's literally the same tooling. I wonder does other Spin Master truck share the same tooling? Then I wonder does a Spin Master truck has the same tooling. Anyway, this is Hot Wheel Monster Jam truck, and this is Hot Wheel Monster Truck. The only differences that I can see are actually the wheel. If you can see, I can't see because this camera sucks. If you can see, the wheel is actually larger. This one's larger and this one is smaller. And this one, I actually like it because it looks more accurate to the real thing. And this looks ridiculous. Ain't no way this thing can turn in real life with that big of a wheel. And so yeah, guys, that's it for the video. Now back to the regular scheduling. Hey guys, I just want to show you this. Just found this out. This is actually smaller. This is where the rivet for the body is. This is the rivet where the rivet for the body is. Anyway, another thing I want to talk about this monster truck is if you actually own like the actual casting for this car, the actual casting. I used to have a monster truck. What is it? The Dodge Charger, and apparently that Dodge Charger, the body is actually a little bigger than the 164 counterpart. Anyway, I just want to share you that. Now back to the regular scheduling.
One thing I have to give a credit to the monster truck line are the printing for the tempo. Due to the toy line being retail the same as a Hot Wheel Premium, they can use the same technology that the HW Premium use, if that make any sense. Some of the release in this line are literally one of the best modern Hot Wheel car that I ever seen in a while. It literally better than RLC, that's how good it is. Some of my favorite release from this line are the Nismo R34. I would kill people just to add this to my collection. The tempo is just chef kiss, amazing, 11 out of 10. I would love to see regular version of this car. In fact, I will be the first one to sell my kidney just to buy this car and then immediately disassemble it and do a wheel swap, because it looked better with PR5 wheel. Another one of my personal favorite are Humvee, probably the most badass modern Hot Wheel car I ever seen. Also, whoever took this picture have a good sense of humor. Of course, we also need to give love to fantasy casting. Some of my favorite original fantasy casting made for this line are recreational. I would love to see a regular version of this casting. I always wanted a Hot Wheel RV, but the one that Mattel already make are not the type of RV I wanted. this particular release of recreational show is one of the most impressive tempo in any modern Hot Wheel car. If I ever owned this release, every single one of my Hot Wheels car will look inferior compared to this. Now I want to make entire episode for this casting. Another one of my favorite fantasy casting in this line are Hot Wheel Racing 3. I have a personal story for this particular release, but that's a story for another day. Finally, we're going to talk about the casting. There is couple of changes seen on this version of Duck and Roll. For starter, the front is longer than the original. It's hard to explain, but if we compare it side to side you could probably see it. The engine is now a separate piece, unlike the original one where the beak and the engine is the same piece. I was thinking of buying a extra Duck and Roll so that I can disassemble it and then paint the engine chrome. Obviously I cannot do that because of obvious reason, and of course the elephant in a room, the face, or should I say, the beak, it features a slightly modified mouth sculpt showing an angry duck compared to the regular Duck and Roll. Sadly they didn't paint the teeth, meaning that if you squint, it looks like a regular Duck and Roll, minus the angry eyes. Now this looked like a job for me. You can also see a water splash in the back. While making and writing this script, the Wiki fandom article for this casting is very bare bone. Half the casting and the image for the casting are missing, so if I got anything wrong that's the reason why. And before you say, yes, I know that the team for the Wiki are working hard every day. Every day there's a new article and new image published in that website. Recently I found out that this exists, and this. Anyway, let's talk about the casting. This release is using a yellow paint job, orange beak and chrome engine, clear dark blue water splash, light blue roll cage, black chassis and white MT5 SP wheels with chrome blue outline. Almost forgot to mention this release also included a green Connect and Crash car. One thing I like about this little car are they are based of a real Hot Wheel casting. This one in particular is based of Dogzilla. Also I thought the car and the color are random, but apparently they are not. Also, if I can change another thing from this line are, they should include 2 of these car instead. Why? Because the point of this little car are you supposed to connect it and crush it, and if you buy 2 you have 4 crush car. In the play standpoint that does make a lot of sense why I want 2 of them. Anyway, enough rambling, now the tempo. On the front, you can see an angry eye with a blue iris. Underneath the beak, you can see a blue and white HW logo. On the side, you can see this beautiful white, blue and purple flame, and on the wing you can see a HW monster truck logo. And now for my final thought. They can just release it the way it is, but they decided to go extra miles by adding that beautiful flame, and that is awesome. Blue and purple is my favorite color combo. This make the release go from good to fantastic. S tier. Also I just realized half of the release on S tier are yellow. The earliest known sighting of this release is in 2024. In fact, all of the release that I'm going to talk about later are released in 2024. That's got to be an error. There is no way all of these are released in the same year. Anyway, this is the most obscure release for this casting. Finding any information about this particular release is hard. The only video on YouTube that have this particular release are this YouTube short that have the song Freak on the Leash by Korn playing in a background. Man, I remember listening to that song a lot back in high school. Even finding the name for this particular release is hard. I literally have to go to eBay just to find the name of it. Anyway, this is a 2024 Freestyle Wreckers Duck and Roll. This casting is using a white paint job, dark orange beak and chrome engine, clear dark blue water splash, black roll cage with white chassis, and black MT5 SP wheel with white outline. Also forgot to mention this. This release included a yellow Rally Cat Connect and Crush car. Now the tempo. Sorry for the image quality, there's like 3 video on YouTube for this release, but you say it's only 1 video, where the rest of them come from? Shut up please. Anyway, in a front you can see a red angry eye with black eyebrows. On top of it you can see a black, gray and light blue tribal tempo that's supposed to look like Yeti fur, or I hope it's supposed to be Yeti. Because if not, Well, I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. Anyway, underneath the beak, you can see a black and gray tribal with black HW monster truck logo. Alright, let's move to the side. Right next to the unpainted teeth, you can see a black and gray tribal. On the wing you can see more Yeti fur tempo. Right next to it you can see a black and gray tribal that's supposed to look like flame. And now for my final thought. It's a pretty unique take on already unique casting. A rubber duck Yeti. Now I definitely seen everything.
Now I have seen everything.
Really? Have you seen a man eat his own head?
No.
So then you haven't seen everything. And neither have we.
A tier. Hey look, it's the first color shifter that we going to cover in the series. I didn't even know they make a color shifter for HW Monster Truck. Anyway, this is a 2024 HW Monster Truck color shifter duck and roll. This release is using a yellow for the hot color and red for the cold color, yellow beak and chrome engine, clear, dark teal green water splash, dark blue roll cage, brown chassis and light blue MT5 SP wheel. Now the tempo. I'm not that good at describing things, so I'm gonna try my best. Around the body you can see a red polka dot pattern. This release is using a blue eye with yellow iris. On the wing you can see a line around the wing. Inside it you can also see a blue and red HW logo with HW Monster Truck logo in black. Anyway, here's some cool trick. On cold water you can also see couple of yellow line that I've been purposely ignoring. Will that because on hot water you can't see the yellow lines, and on cold water is the opposite. The red polka dot pattern blend with the red color of the release. I mean you can still see it. Will that because the guy that review it, where the screenshot originally come from, doesn't use a cold enough water. Here a better image of it. And now for my final thought. When I first saw this release I didn't really like it that much, probably because this is the most tempo that this casting ever has. In the original script I say that this casting is bad because it have too much tempo or something like that, but the more I look at it, the more I like it. I guess they tried to go with a superhero theme with this one. The real cool part about this release are some tempo like I already mentioned polka dot pattern, are hidden if you use a cold water. Something that a lot of color shifter car use for their design. C for cool, not a big fan, but I appreciate the creativity. This is a Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Demolition Doubles Duck and Roll. This release is exclusively pack in the Demolition Doubles 2-pack. Apparently the only exclusive car in this pack are Duck and Roll, the other car in the pack.
Piran-AHHHHH.
I see what you did there. Already released in a single before. Anyway, this release is using a matte light brown paint job, light yellow beak and chrome engine, clear green water splash, green roll cage with black chassis and orange MT5 SP wheels. Now the tempo. This release is using a brown eye with red iris. Above it you can also see eyebrows. Right next to the unpainted teeth, you can see a white HW Monster Truck logo. Underneath it you can also see a Hot Wheel logo. Underneath the beak, head and wing, you can see a green, brown, white and black pattern that's supposed to look like mallard duck. Talking about mallard duck, now let's talk about my final thought. I love that this release is based off a mallard duck. Every time I see a mallard duck, all I can see is Drake from Animal Crossing. S tier. You know they should make a color shifter duck and roll that changes color from yellow to white. Anyway, this is probably the most detailed video about this casting. Again, if we got a new release for this casting, I will make a short video talking about the new release and ranking them, basically a little expansion for that video. Hey, now are we here? Why not I explain you how this wheels work. If you can see, I added couple of new car in this wheel. Now we have 10 cars. And the way it work is every time we got a car, the car will be replaced by a different car. For example, last time we got Duck and Roll and now the car has been replaced by Cat Forklift. Yeah, I also added a couple of joked car in this wheel. Why? Because why not? Anyway, let's roll. You gotta be kidding me. Anyway, that's it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more video like this. And so yeah guys, have fun, and stay wholesome.